In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how one of the producers I worked with used TikTok to generate a bunch of work for herself in only a couple of months. But before I jump into the video, I want to let you know that multiple times a week I drop episodes of my podcast, Music Pro Daily, and that's really where I get into the insights of developing producers and what goes on in the trenches and strategies and all that good stuff, and it's really cool, and it's a bit more than what I can do on a YouTube video. So YouTube videos are fun and short and try to pack some info in there, but if you really want the good stuff, then definitely subscribe to Music Pro Daily. It's free. I drop episodes almost every day and let you guys know what's going on in the business world for producers. There's a link in the description below. All right, so there's three things that we're gonna go through in this video. Number one is the benefits of TikTok. I know TikTok's a weird platform to a lot of people, and I just wanna explain why you should be on it. The second thing I'm gonna go into is is that a 2 or some kind of cult symbol? The second thing I'm gonna go into is the story of one of the producers I work with, Alyssa Wilkins, who in a short period of time had a lot of success on TikTok and landed a good amount of work with a bunch of cool artists. And the third thing is we're actually gonna go into the strategy of exactly what she did. I'll show you everything. I'll show you screenshots of her account, and we'll talk about the main pieces that you can put together to start doing it yourself. So let's jump in. So TikTok isn't just little kids dancing anymore, which is kind of weird. It's everything. There's all sorts of stuff on there now. We found it to be a great place for producers to connect with artists. And I just want to, talk about some of the benefits. Some of you may be already on there and are trying to figure out a strategy to connect with cool people. Some of you may not be on there yet, but you're thinking about it. So let me just go through a couple of things that might sway you a little bit and get you to start using it. The first benefit here is it's really great for organic discovery, organic reach. Platforms like Instagram used to be able to get discovered on there, and people would just come across your stuff randomly and find you. And that's harder and harder and harder as more people buy ads. There's only a certain amount of space on your news feed, and when more people buy ads, they suppress organic. A lot of people think that, they suppress your organic reach to force you to buy ads. And that's not true. They've already sold the ads, and now they need to make room for them. And naturally, that's just going to make it harder for people to discover your organic content. Same thing happened to Facebook business pages back in the day, or fan pages. So right now, TikTok is pretty wide open. There's not a ton of ads being purchased there, at least not enough to where it's pushing down the organic. So it's one of those things, honestly, it's kind of, I don't have one yet, so I guess I shouldn't say this, but it's kind of silly to not be on there, honestly, just because the organic reach is so good. You can just kind of make stuff and people will come across it, and that's just not going to last forever. The second reason is that they're, relatively, some people may argue this, but they're relatively easy to make, pretty low friction. You don't have to reinvent the wheel with this stuff. And I talked to a lot of producers who feel like video is the best way for them to communicate or show what they're working on and let people into their world. But YouTube kind of intimidates them a little bit because I don't know if I want to sit down and spend half a day filming a YouTube video and it's got to look good and be 10 minutes or whatever. So TikTok's a quick way to just get videos out of what you're doing. So it's relatively easy and quick to just make content on it. The third reason, I forgot the third reason. Oh yeah, a lot of artists are using it, right? So there's a lot of attention on there right now from artists because they're trying to figure out how to use it themselves. There's songs going viral on it. There's industry people testing different demos on it to get feedback to see what songs they want to produce and release. It's a big platform for music. So there's a ton of artists on there, and organic reach, plus it's easy to do, plus there's a ton of artists there. That's a really great combination. It's just not going to be that way forever. So I think now is a good time to at least start exploring it. Let's dive into a story about one of my clients. I can tell you what she actually did, and then we'll jump into that strategy. So this is Alyssa. She's a really badass indie pop producer in the Southern California area. This is her profile here on TikTok. And she's been in the Dark Label program for a while, almost a year. And it took us a while to really figure out, how to get traction, because she's cool. She's got a cool look, cool sound, great personality, and just nothing was sticking. She was trying other platforms and different things, and it just didn't feel comfortable to her. And finally, TikTok ended up being the thing that kind of popped for her. So that's just goes to show that you may settle into a certain platform. You don't have to do all of them. Whatever content is just a window into your world. That's it. It's just saying, hey, here's what I'm about. Helps you connect with people. It's marketing. It's networking with people. So that's all it is. If you don't want to write posts on Facebook, fine. If you don't want to do full YouTube videos, fine. If you want to be on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, great. Doesn't matter. Just find whatever way you feel you can connect with people best. And TikTok ended up doing well for her. So she had kind of a steady business going on. But then when she got on TikTok, she spent a couple of months, or really a month, putting out a ton of content, and then dropped an ebook, which I'll explain in a second. And everyone that downloaded that ebook, she reached out to them, met a bunch of artists that way, got on the phone with them, and closed a bunch of projects. And last time I checked, I haven't talked with her in a while. I'm talking to her this week, but I think she had gotten 3 clients in the past couple of weeks just from it. So, and that's, for her, thousands of dollars worth of work, especially if those clients come back. So it could be thousands and thousands of dollars per work, depending on how those projects go, not to include referrals, all that. It was free. She didn't pay any money. It went pretty quickly. Generally, building up a marketing strategy for a producer takes some time. Man, I haven't seen it happen that fast in a while. It reminds me of like how Facebook communities and forums used to be like 2-3 years ago, where it was really quick to connect with artists and land clients. So it's pretty cool. Let's dive into kind of the step-by-step of what she did so that you can start doing it yourself. All right, so there's basically 4 kind of primary steps here to this, and you'll see them listed right here. Number 1 is priming the profile. We'll go through that in a second. Relevant content is number 2. Number 3 is having some kind of downloadable to take people off platform. And number 4 is connecting and making an offer. So these are the 4 steps that she did to get a bunch of clients from TikTok in a relatively short amount of time. So let's take a look at the first thing here. Let me find the slide. So this is her profile, Alyssa Wilkins on TikTok. Make sure to go follow her. A lot of producers kind of do this, like their profiles are very anonymous. I feel like I've heard other producers talk about this on some of the, producer grind podcasts and some of those places. And every time I hear it, I'm just like, yes, exactly. Listen, if you want to commit to some super, mysterious brand or thing, hey, go for it. For the majority of people, they're just kind of hiding. They're not really fully committing to what they're doing. So of course they're not getting work. A lot of these producer accounts, I get added by them pretty frequently and all of that. And I'm just like, I can't even tell what this person does. So nice clear picture of herself. It immediately states what she does. I produce indie pop for cool peeps. Come say hi and make music. She's very inviting. That's not everybody's brand. You may not be that way, but that's her vibe, Social media, again, it's not about being something that you're not. It's just, and I try to explain this, especially the producers who have been in the game for a while, because they have a bit more trouble with kind of putting themselves out there. And I'm like, listen, it's just a window into your world. It's just more people like you. You're good, right? Yeah, I'm good. Cool. You want to work with more artists, right? Cool. Would it be beneficial if more cool artists knew that you existed and liked what you did? Yeah. That's it. That's what this is. Marketing, social media marketing, to me it's just, I've said this a million times, it's networking on steroids. Just think of it as networking. Instead of brand, all that kind of stuff, think of it as reputation. It's just your reputation to the public. That usually makes it easier for producers to digest, especially the ones that are a bit more kind of in the industry side. It's fun. It just it lets more people into your world so you can connect with them. That's it. But people need to know what you do, because we're quickly, it's like a dating app. There's first impressions. You want to know what the person's about, to make a decision. Do I want to engage further? And this is the same thing. So her profile is real clear. Nice picture of her. Says exactly what she does. And then it has some links here, which we'll talk about in a second. Step 2 is having relevant content. A lot of producers are making content, and I give them credit for that. Excuse me, they're jumping in the game. They are, that was a demon trying to come out of my body just now. They're playing the content game. They're putting stuff out there because they're supposed to. And I give them credit for that. It's better than sitting around doing nothing. But you have to be very, very in tune to like what this content is for. Like who's going to be interested in this? I see a lot of producers that make stuff and then I get on the phone like, yeah, no, I make content every day, but I'm not getting any work from it. I'm like, well, what kind of artist are you trying to work with? And they'll describe it to me. Like, yeah, I'm trying to work with, whatever, pop artists that have a couple releases under their belt, a little bit of a presence. They're trying to do this sound. I'm like, oh, I could tell you in 2 seconds that they're not going to be interested in any of the shit you're doing. Maybe a really geeky mixing engineer will be interested in your content, but it doesn't align like with who you're trying to work for. So it's not going to be, you shouldn't be surprised when you're not attracting people like that. A big one I see is producers want to work with artists of a little bit of a higher caliber, maybe a higher level indie artist, but then their content is about how to register your song with the PRO. It's like, well, those artists already know how to do that. They're not interested by that. So the content has to match, it has to be interesting to who you're going to, work for. Like I run a business. So if I see a person on Instagram, even if they can help me and they're way ahead of me, I don't know that. All I see is their videos that are saying like how to register your business, how to get your first client. Well, that's not relevant to me because I already have my first client. So I'm going to go with someone that's like, hey, here's how to grow your business from here to here. So hopefully that example makes sense. A lot of people are putting out content that's like either way over the heads of the kind of artists they can help, or it's way beneath the artists they can help, or it's just way off. They're going into like super techie, stuff when their market doesn't give a shit about that. So like I can tell when I look at producers' content how well they understand how well they're able to just communicate themselves authentically and how well they understand who it is they want to work with. So step 2 is the content has to make sense. Now, on TikTok, you're going to have a bunch of people that see this content. Obviously, not everyone that sees it is even going to be a musician or a potential client. But the more that see it up here, there's a smaller percentage that is going to be your perfect client. And the next step is having somewhere for them to go, okay? And that's what step 3 is having something that kind of takes them, the ones that are really interested in digging deeper with you, takes them off platform. So what she did was she created a ebook that was how she got her first 10,000 streams with her band. Let's actually, before I dive into that link thing on her profile goes to this. So people that want to dig a little deeper, they can click a link to work with her. They can check out the band she's in. She has free stuff that helps the market she works in. And then she has a really cool indie pop Facebook group with another one of the producers I work with named Noah. They run that together. So again, most of the people coming across your TikTok, it's just going to be kind of random people that think it's cool. Oh yeah, that's fun. That looks awesome. But then there's going to be a portion of them that they're going to want to potentially dig in a little deeper with you and perhaps get a relationship going. That's what this stuff is for people to dig deeper. So when you click the free stuff, it takes them to an ebook that she put together. And the ebook is, like I mentioned earlier, for indie pop artists on how to release music, basically. And you don't have to do an ebook. You could do experience, a workshop. It could be drum samples. Just something that your market would be like, hey, I like this guy's or girl's content. Let me, I'll take some more stuff. Yeah, let's see what's up. And what she's doing is, they're opting in. Pretty basic stuff, right? You've probably seen this before. They download the guide, and now they're on her mailing list. So she's taking them off platform just in case TikTok, goes away or something. She has them on an email list. And I think in the first week, she had 300 or 400 people download this. So that's 300 or 400 people to connect with. That may not seem like a lot, but that's a big deal. It takes a lot to get some. No one wants to put their email in to like download shit, And you don't have to do that. You can say, hey, I made this cool video, like DM me and I'll give it to you. But you want some way to connect with them personally because that's the whole point of this, okay? If you just like throw it out there, that's fine, but you don't know who got it, and you can't really, connect with them. So have them DM you or put them on an email list. I had her do an email list because she's going to need that for the future anyway. At any given time, she can hit up that email list and say, hey, I've got some slots open for projects this month. Who wants to jump on? So once they downloaded it, every person that downloaded it, she reached out to, said, yeah, let's hop on a call. Let's chat music. So that's the fourth step. Connecting with people and making them an offer if they have a project. It's like, cool, yeah, you got a project, awesome. If you want any help, let me know. Here's what I'm about. And yeah, she got a couple clients the first week. Like I said, a couple in the past few weeks, and there may even be more. I haven't talked to her yet this week. For her, that's thousands of dollars of work, just initially, not even including the clients coming back or word of mouth from those clients in the future. And all she did was spend a couple, about 6 weeks on TikTok, then dropped a really cool piece of content and connected with the people that got it. Pretty straightforward. Now, I don't want to say everything's like super easy. Again, what she had going for her, she's very locked into who she can help and who her market is and who she's trying to attract. We've been working together for a long, almost a year. So she's very in tune with that. She's great at making relevant content for that. And then she made something cool and knows how to connect with people and have good conversations with them. So anyway, if you want more stuff like this, where I actually go much more into detail and it's kind of more day-to-day of what's going on in the trenches developing producers. Like I said, in the link here in the description, there's a link to the Music Pro Daily podcast. Check that out. That's really where I focus most of my content to. YouTube is kind of a